Hey guys, this is the Power Kitchen first podcast for the season. Thank you everyone for checking this out in advance. I just want to thank you all for your support through Facebook, through Twitter, through YouTube, for everything that I've been doing via the kitchen, the training, the powerlifting. Big ups to you all and thanks a lot. So I'm going to get straight into it. Let me know what you're thinking. Hope I really hit the spot with this one for you guys. Alright, so here we go. Now, as the seasons have changed here in Brisbane, we've gone from our typical hot climate to a cold winter. Would you agree? Yes. Okay, cool. So that change is obvious, and as a result, people have adapted by dressing and behaving differently to maintain that they've survived these conditions. Now, we know it's coming each and every year, and that's not going to change. It's going to keep happening each year. As these climate changes each year, these kind of changes can be said for our lives as well. We have personal climates, we've got professional climates, and these are the main ones that come to mind. And, you know, we've also got times of pleasure, we've got times of pain, good fortune, and also hardship. You can relate these to exercise as well. You know, we set the tone during our training by training hard over a period of time to taper up to a peak, but we only go for so long before the effort that we produce causes a plateau. So to counteract that plateau effect, we taper back down once more, aka a deload or a dip. And these are intentional in the training world. Why can't we take that concept, put it into our personal world where we work and work and work, consciously, productively, and effectively, and hence anticipate that there's going to be a dip, that there's going to be a deload that's necessary, and we can implement that strategy. We can take some time out to deload the system to prevent being overcome by the volume of fatigue that is built up during the time of effort, but at the same time have the tenacity to not become complacent after going into the dip, to actually use that time to re-strategize and refocus going into the next loading phase. We live in constant moments of now, and our fears, anxieties, and depressions are caused by things that we have either anticipated to occur or have already occurred, otherwise known as our future and our past. Now, it's our job as an individual to succumb to these pressures, or is it our job to overcome them? Okay, I hear what you're saying. You know, it's easier to say than it is to do, and I completely agree. It is totally easier to say, you know, let's anticipate this, you know, pressure that's coming, remove the anxiety from it, and, you know, create a dip, and you'll be able to, you know, get over those pressures. Okay, I understand that. I'm just putting it out there and, you know, creating food for thought. And I can see, you know, maybe some people in there might find some congruency with what I'm saying and add value to their lives. You know, we've all had personal experiences with difficult times and pressure, and in the modern way of living, it can be quite difficult. You know, I'm here to tell you guys that you've actually got the power. If you succumb to the notion that your circumstances are out of your control, then of course it's going to be difficult. You know, you're already with your back up against the wall. However, opening up to a new mindset, a new way of thinking, an uncomfortable way of thinking is clearly the way forward for some. However, it's also the fear and the doubt of stepping into a new frame and the unknown with little to no knowledge of the implications of our actions, which paralyzes ourselves from taking that action in the first place. And I'm totally fine with that, because we've all been there before. We've all had that experience in some way, shape or form. You know, as someone who deals, professionally speaking, with people on a daily basis, I completely understand why it's easy to hide behind excuses for not being able to achieve certain things, whether it be your dreams or professional goals or personal goals or whatever. So the question is, if I were to say to you right now that if you action these particular steps in order, I will guarantee that your goal will be realized. You will actually be able to put together the process and achieve that goal that you set. Will you go and take that path? Or will you live in the knowledge of what you've currently experienced? Now, some people agree and some people will disagree, and that's fine. You know, It's better the devil you know than the devil you don't, something like that comes to mind. And if you do something, definitely something will change. If you do nothing, however, expect nothing to change, and what is it really that we can change within our own experience, our own lives? So really it's just us as an individual who we can actually control. Starting with yourself first, and see how your perception changes, and hence the outcome will change. By changing your perception of how something actually occurs, the result actually bears a different result. Perception is key in that, exactly that. And this is why we have big opinion issues with current affairs. Is it a case of wrong or right, less effective or more effective, or just having a difference of opinion? Or is it having a different way of expressing the same view, all intertwined with each other? If you want to delve into how people perceive things and express themselves and relate to other people via their personality traits, then I find that that's a very interesting topic indeed. I've found so many similarities between what we know as science and religion or spirituality. In this case, it seems to me that there is really a way to express the same argument from a different vantage point to also give an impression that to someone or to some will indicate one idea, whereas to others a different idea would transpire, neither right nor wrong. So some people have that viewpoint and they're telling people what that viewpoint is. Others are receiving that, interpreting the information that they receive, and seeing it differently from the way that it was intended. Interesting topic. So the question is, why does it have to be all or nothing? And where does this mentality really take us? Are we looking to resolve an argument, bring further ammunition to it while overrunning the opposing view and truly find an integrated solution? I.e., a mixture. A world is a mixture. We have built up cities with natural water supplies running through the center of them, trees and bushes all around the streets as well. Our progression as a society depends on perception and, to the short-term future, the deferring of it. This is what keeps the economy flourishing and ever-changing and evolving. So even there is a mixture of opinion that also has seasons that evolve and change as the years progress. A good friend of mine from high school, Marty Hamilton, who works down in Canberra, and I were having a chat one day a few years ago. I asked him to give me some insight as to how the cyclic nature of politics can arrange itself regarding the saving of money and the use of money within our society. My takeaway notes were that in one aspect you've got a conservative nature of resources which yields a lack of infrastructure which eventually will require some upgrade, and on the other side you've got a less conservative practice which uses the said resources to build and update the infrastructure. Both have the benefits and shortcomings. So naturally I can see why the trend in swapping from one side to the other in a predictive sense occurs. To get a little idealistic, what would having a system whereby the anticipation of both uses the conservation of resources were implemented? An interesting conversation at least. Now, the skeptics are analysing and are looking for reasons why this would never work, and the innovators are looking for how to implement and make money off of it. Action is action. Inaction is still an action. The choice is yours to be left behind in a cloud of dust, wonder where all the dust is coming from, or leave the naysayers behind in a cloud of defeat and dust. Never has there been a better time to be both an individual and part of a group. Niches and micro-niches are bringing this world closer and closer with more tech and comms than ever before. I've spent my time learning from mentors in other states and countries. Some don't even know that they're teaching me. I've got nothing but love for those who choose to progress. For those who are too scared, believe me, I've been there and sometimes I am. Alright guys, I really hope that you found this information helpful. To give me some feedback or to ask questions about some topics that you might be interested in, you can reach me at facebook.com/trainedbyhamish or hamish@trainedbyhamish.com. All right, thank you.